are watching the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics, and we're about to begin the men's all-around final. First out, Romania's Gabriel Burtanete, gold medalist at the first ever Junior World Championships. From Norway, Sofus Hegemsnes, the reigning Nordic all-around champion. Florian Lagenegger from Switzerland, the reigning national champion on vault. Spain's Nestor Abad, twice a Mediterranean Games champion here in Turkey in 2013. Noah Seifert, the reigning Swiss all-around national champion. And Boton Molnar of Hungary, the all-around winner at last year's Junior European Championships. That's your third highest group of qualifiers. We now move to the second highest group, who start on the pommel horse. Lorenzo Casali, the all-around silver medalist at the Italian National Championships. From Great Britain, Josh Nathan, the reigning English all-around champion. Yumin Abedini of Italy, the reigning all-around national champion. Spain's Tieno Diallo, a Mediterranean Games champion. Christopher Mezaros, the reigning Hungarian all-around champion, 3 years in a row. Representing Finland, Elias Koski, a multiple Nordic Championships medalist. And now the highest group of qualifiers starting on the floor. From the Netherlands, Casimir Schmidt, a medalist at the inaugural European Games. We've just had Olympic medalist Arta Davtyan, the first ever Armenian world champion, followed by Great Britain's Jake Jarman, the reigning Commonwealth Games all-around champion. And now from the host nation Turkey, Adam Asil, the reigning Mediterranean Games all-around champion. There is your top qualifier, Ilya Kovtun of Ukraine, a world and European all-around medalist. Germany's Pascal Brendel, a European Championship debutant, but a national champion. And finally, the gymnasts who start on vault. Francis Leo Saladino, a Mediterranean Games medalist. We have just had introduced Oscar Kirmes of Finland, a Nordic champion on multiple occasions. From Turkey, Ahmed Under, the all-around silver medalist at last year's European Championships. Victor Martinez, the reigning Belgian all-around champion. From Israel, Ilya Lyubimov, a debutant at European Championship level, but a national medalist. And representing Belgium, we have Luca Vondenkebus, a youth Olympic medalist and a man celebrating his 26th birthday tomorrow. So there they are. Those are your 24 that have made it to the continental stage, to the all-around final. Team competition ended in a victory for the Italians, a silver medal for the host nation Turkey, and the bronze medal going to Great Britain. These are the gymnasts who will get things started on floor as the top performers in qualification. Ilya Kovtun had a sensational run in the preliminary round. His score 85.4. 3-2. He was pretty well flawless across the lot. A gap of 1 3/4 marks over the second best qualifier. That's Turkey's Adam Asil. But might we see somebody come from this second group to launch a challenge. Who could it be? We've got gymnasts in there who have been hugely successful at events like the Mediterranean Games, like World Cup competitions, and European Championship medalists, including Italians who were part of the team that won the title. These are the third highest group of gymnasts from qualification. They'll start on the rings. Just keep an eye on the potential for some of these athletes to move up the standings. Great experience in there, people like Nestor Abad, for example, and youngsters like Noah Seifert, who was so good in Munich. He was 5th in the all-around competition. And who is this we spy in Group 4, the lowest group of qualifiers? Ahmet Under of Turkey. Now, he is somebody who is capable of putting together a fiercely competitive all-around programme, because after all, he won the silver medal at the last European Championships. So we've really got to have our eyes everywhere in this final. It is a joy to have your company. My name's Ollie Hogben, and I'll be taking you through all of the next 4 days of finals action, but don't let that put you off. This is going to be a fantastic competition, and lovely that we get things underway with the men's all-around final. But the real question is this. In qualification, a teenager from Ukraine had a spectacular day and topped the standings. We're used to seeing him on the podium in all-around competitions, but might his national anthem play today? In short, will we all rise to listen to Ilya's Kov tune? Or will it be the home fans here in Turkey who are singing the loudest because of their favourite son, Adem? To the locals, a win for Asil will doubtless appeal. Can he make the dream real? And has he got nerves of steel? But don't overlook a star man named Jarman, a British lion who wants to roar in Antalya. After the best 12 months of his career, a win for Jake, well, it would be the icing on the cake. Outside the top 3, you've got an Armenian called Davtyan who's used to wearing gold. So, will we all be guests at the court of King Arthur? And how about a veteran who's returned from the wilderness? In qualification, it was hit after hit for Casimir Schmidt. He may be from the Netherlands, but he's not interested in keeping a low profile today. And finally, a young star from Germany by the name of Pascal Brendel. He's got power, style and execution, 3 essential qualities of a champion. Consider it then a mathematically perfect Pascal's triangle. But only one person will have the numbers to win gold today. Who? That's your top group, but there are many other contenders. And it's going to be time to get underway.
We are ready for the very first floor exercise, representing the Netherlands.
And so we start with a gentleman who was terrific in qualification. Casimir Schmidt, the 27-year-old from Hoofddorp in the North Holland province of the Netherlands. His return to the top level has been a really interesting thing to watch of late. And he was the 5th best in the preliminary round. This routine scored him 13.4. Well done to Casimir Schmidt, getting things underway in this men's all-around competition. A composed beginning from the gentleman in his 7th European Championships. 11th in the all-around competition in 2017, his best result. Now, over we go to Lorenzo Casali of Italy on the pommel horse. Started with, starting with the performance that troubled him in qualification, 11.9. Team gold medalist. Let's see how he gets on here. All looking solid so far. Just a little leg separation. He's got it back under control. Slight bend in the midsection. Little clip at the pommels. But he's motoring through. And if he gets through, he's somebody who could be more in contention than we give him credit for. That's a good start from Lorenzo Casali of Italy. .133 for Casimir Schmidt. So that is a drop of just under 3/10 from qualification. To Artur Daptian of Armenia. Fourth best in qualification, owner of so many international medals, but nothing in a major international all-around competition. He is, as ever, an epitome of delightful execution. Oh, well, it's not quite as secure as we've seen him so far in Antalya. Definitely a gymnast whose profile in terms of difficulty in execution in this all-around is heavily skewed towards execution, with good reason, because he is one of the most technically accomplished gymnasts in the world. And there's a lot about that that has worked well. How will it compare to the 13.4 from qualification? He's got a massive vault score to draw upon, one imagines, and pommel horse as well coming up next, where he's been a European champion. 12.8 for Lorenzo Casali. That's the first big gain we've seen so far, almost a mark better than qualification. To Josh Nathan of Great Britain, British pommel horse champion from 2021 and the reigning English all-around champion. And somebody who's capable of quite stellar difficulty on this apparatus, that is clear. Good controlled Wenderschwings. Oh, and he just lost his placement. Now that's the 10th strongest performer in qualification. And some evident difficulties. Really tough opening this for Great Britain's Josh Nathan. Definitely going into his Busnari. Not quite got the rhythm with the flares.
Joshua named all-around pommel horse finalist at the World Championships in Kyushu in 2021.
Well, it is regrettably for Josh Nathan a tricky beginning Artur Davtyan, score of 13. I did wonder about some of the execution there. 8.4, difficulty not huge. He's down by 4/10 from qualification. Now, very different sort of routine that we're about to see from Jake Jarman. High degrees of difficulty, had some landing issues as he is wont to do in qualification, but there's no question that Jake Jarman has got the complexity and the skill to challenge. Third best in qualification, he's the reigning Commonwealth Games all-around champion. Big start, lots of twisting work, lots of difficulty. He became, in Birmingham, the first Englishman in 24 years to win 4 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games. Well, that's an encouraging opening from Jake Jarman. Can he now finish it off? Oh, that was quite a big adjustment, the last tumbling pass for Great Britain's Jake Jarman. So some aspects of his tumbling that worked very well, others less so. 13.833 in qualification for him. Now over to the third highest group of qualifiers. Nestor Abad of Spain to start on the rings. He scored 13.766 in qualification. He was really in the mix for the all-around for much of the first half of the European Championships in Munich, and then really faded away towards the end. Slightly over in his handstand, but he's pulled it back. Jonasson into handstand with, again, just a small flicker. So underway is Nestor Abad of Spain, the 30-year-old. Just a couple of weeks ago celebrated his birthday. 11.4 on pommel horse, the score for Josh Nathan. So he's down by over 2 marks in the preliminary round. Now we look at Adem Asil of Turkey. Second strongest performer in qualification. The reigning Mediterranean Games all-around champion. Bronze medalist from the Munich 2022 European Championships. He's so decorated. And he is, of course, a world champion in apparatus gymnastics on the rings. Oh, he did well to hold on to that. Coming out of the pike position, feet just skidded around. Beautiful tuck work, that is so nice. And he's now steadied and settled the whole thing. There is bags of excitement, anticipation in the arena today because of Adem Asil. Well, after a very nervous opening tumbling part, he's done so well, Adam Assil, to stabilise things. Now, Jake Jarman, a score of 14.366. That is way up from qualification, way up. He's gained about half a mark. Nestor Abad is down a tenth, 13.666. Now we have a look at not Leo Saladino, but Ahmed Under on vault for the host nation, Turkey. And he scored 14.2 in qualification. We'll come back to his fortunes in a little while. Now to a young Spaniard of name Tieno Diallo, 22-year-old, born in Conakry in Guinea, but grew up in Catalonia. 8th best in qualification. It's going nicely and smoothly so far. Scored 13.2 for this routine in the preliminary round. Had some small form issues towards the conclusion of that display. Tieno Diallo, up the 8th best in qualification, stays on the apparatus. And Adam Assil scores 13.933, so he has managed to gain just under 2/10 from qualification. The big mover has been Jake Jarman so far in that top group. Now to Leo Saladino of France. 20-year-old. Very good results on vault in his junior career. And his score 14.633. That's a gain of 2/10 from qualifying. So he is really starting strongly. On the subject of strong, the gentleman who absolutely dominated the qualification round, better than anyone else by a mark and 3/4. Ilya Kovtun. 14.066 was his score in qualification. Just had a small amount of mid-air leg bend in the pike, a little adjustment step. Oh, but he does twist with such ferocity and yet control. Nice flare work, this beautiful control, elegant and powerful. Underway is Ilya Kovtun in this men's all-around final at the European Championships in Antalya, Turkey, the Antalya Sports Hall, as we look out over the venue and we see the score 14.1 for Ahmed Under, drop of a 10th from qualifying, but we've really got to keep an eye on him because he might well contend. Well, we're having fun, aren't we? Giving him as many different names as possible. Not Luca Fontencabus, not Leo Saladino. Ahmed Under again. Just to remind you of that display that scored 14.1. What name will we give him next time? They know his name in these parts. He's very popular. Here's somebody whose name we do not know too well, but we're starting to get to know him because he's a cracking young gymnast. Pascal Brendel of Germany, 19. A European Championship debut for him. And how impressive to come into your first European Championships and to be the 6th best in the all-around qualification process. Does well just to steady himself on that landing. I mean, this is a huge occasion for a very young man. He's got such limited top-level international experience, but he doesn't look like it. Certain smoothness to him gymnastically. He's just very slightly crossed over at the ankles in some of his twisting work, but he's got time to refine that. What he does seem to have is real competition temperament. 12.5 for Tierno Diallo, so he drops by 7/10 from qualification. And we are back over at the pommel horse. Just to remind you, this is the group of gymnasts who were the 2nd highest in qualification. This is Christopher Mészáros of Hungary. He was the 7th best performer in all-around qualifying. 2 times a European Championship medalist with the team in 2020. And on floor last year, a silver medal. He's a very poised gymnast to watch. But he's still only 21 as well. Just had some difficulties with his swing. Not the first time we've seen that, unfortunately, on pommel horse today. An important routine, this, for Mészáros. It was his lowest scoring in qualification, and with a 12.9 in the preliminary round, he's likely to see that tumble a little more now. To offer huge congratulations to Christopher Mészáros, though, because he became at the last championships the winner of the domestic all-around title for the 3rd year running. It is a fantastic accomplishment, especially when one considers that there's a really good crop of gymnasts coming through in Hungary. He's dominated domestically. Oskar Kirmes on vault, 26-year-old, part of the Finnish team that won the gold medal at the Nordic Championships last year, and he has been a Nordic all-around champion as well. He was very destabilised in the landing, landed quite low, big paces back, 12.533, so a drop of almost a full mark from qualification.
And here's Great Britain on pommel horse with Joshua Davey.
Representing Belgium, Victor Martinez, 20-year-old. It's lovely that we're getting the chance to see more and more of this gymnast. 14.333 is his score. He's the reigning Belgian all-around national champion, won the title a few days before his birthday. Vaulted securely. Luca Fontenkebus. Now he's got room to really make up numbers on vault. Oh yes, he's done it there. That's a super vault. 14.4. That is a gain of 1.2 from qualification. 25th best in the preliminary round. He's got off to a marvellous start. Koski of Finland. A 23-year-old from the spectacular city of Helsinki. And we look at the rather spectacular Antalya Sports Hall, built in 2016. Best known for basketball, hugely popular sport here. Not a hugely popular score, that, sadly, for Christopher Mizanos. 11.766. He's down by the best part of a mark from qualifying. Now here is Elias Koski. All-around silver medalist at the Northern European Championships in November of last year in Finland. Quite jackknifed. Dropping a little low, and there's always a risk that eventually that's going to come back and force the gymnast off, but he's really working hard in his Magyar Shivado work, and he is going to get through that with a lot of determination. Muted celebration, but well done, Elias Koski. That's more the reaction I think we expected, and he's done well. He has been an all-around national champion. He had a good straight body for much of the routine. Now they're processing an inquiry for Tieno Diallo's pommel horse routine. 12.5, just to remind you, was the initial score. And we'll update you on that just as soon as we know more. A chance to witness a debutant coming in as the second reserve, Ilya Lyubimov of Israel, 21. He was fifth at the national all-around championships last year, and that is a really nice beginning to his final. 13.9. He's up by a single tenth from qualification. .9 the score for Ilya Kovtun on floor, so he's down by getting close to 2/10 of a mark. Pascal Brendel 13.5, that's down by a single tenth. We'll just draw all this data together in a moment to look at the standings and what it means for the complexion of this all-around final. But before we go on, let's just look at some of the other best moments of this first rotation that we haven't yet seen. Over on the rings, Gabriel Bertonette, 21-year-old. So nearly won a vault medal at the last World Championships. He was fourth. It's a little high in that position, which should really come to 90 degrees from the apparatus. Just drops his legs a little in the planche. Stand well though. Yamawaki and moving through into the half lever. controls his dismount with a sizable adjustment step, but it is a 13.5 for Gabriel Bertonette, down by less than 2/10 from qualification. So this is what it means as things currently stand. It is Saladino who's in the lead, then Fondenkabus, then Jake Jarman. Now, the two gymnasts above Jake Jarman started on vault. Jarman was the big improver from that top group. As we look down the order, Ilya Kovtun at the moment in 9th position. He, of course, has parallel bars to come, where he's got massive scoring potential, and pommel horse next. And that was much lower scoring for Jake Jarman. Artur Davtyan is quite a way down. He's got that big vault to come, and he's also going to pommel horse now, where he won the European title in 2021 in Basel in Switzerland. So it will be Artur Davtyan to get us underway in the second rotation. 14.266 in qualifying. That could push him up a little bit. Jake Jarman was not one of the highest scorers on pommel horse in that top group of qualifiers, nor was Adam Assil. Onto the rings goes the next group of gymnasts, athletes that we saw starting their campaign on the pommel horse, their second highest qualifiers. To vault, getting his group underway, Sofus Hegemsnes, the reigning Nordic all-around champion. And he has made it into this final as the first reserve. We had the withdrawal of Artem Dolgopiat and Robert Tvorogal, bringing in Hegemsnes and Ilya Lyubimov. Now, Ahmet Under of Turkey will start his group off on the parallel bars, and that is one of his finest pieces historically, but he did struggle in qualification with a score below 13. Now let's see if any of that data means something as we get this second rotation underway. Here is Sofus Hegemsnes. He's been a Northern European all-around champion. He's the reigning Nordic all-around champion. And regrettably, his vault, which was his top score in qualification, has not gone anything like it needed to see him fly up the standings. Now this could be an important performance for this next gymnast if he is to contend for all-around honours. Artur Davtyan of Armenia on the pommel horse, where he won the European title 2 years ago. Good clearance. Plenty of control, a little leg separation. Back under control. Very controlled in the travelling Wendeschwings. And he hops off, and he might have hopped a little more back into contention with that display after a 13 on floor. He's got already a full set of colours at European Championship level. Ahmet Under of Turkey. Now his score in qualification was 12.966, but he is capable of so much more on this apparatus. World Championships. Silver medalist from 2019. Oh no! Oh, the arms just went. Clunked down on the rail too. Goodness, though, the strength to go into that single rail work. Now they're into a difficult straddle front somersault. Well, he's through it, but he's through it with complications that will affect the score. Ahmed Under, the 26-year-old. .13.1 for Sofus Hegemsnes. Artur Davtyan. Score of 13.933 on the pommel horse, so he is down by a few tenths from qualification. Now to Jake Jarman, 13.633 in qualifying. Great start on floor. Scissors to handstand, back to scissors, nicely done. If he gets through this, then he's very much in the mix, but he's really close. The apparatus might have got a little clip or two. Legs have come apart, back together. On he goes, determined. He's very low, though, to the apparatus, and that is going to take it out of him in terms of the core strength. But how he's managed to go on with such determination. Jake Jarman of Great Britain. Oh, there were some nervy moments in that display. And probably he managed to stay on the apparatus. Yumin Aberdini of Italy. Next to go. 13.5 he scored in the preliminary round. Part of the team that won the gold medal a couple of days ago. Nice position with that handstand, looks very tidy. Oh, as did that, that was delightful. He's got a certain smoothness to his gymnastics. He is the reigning Italian all-around national champion after all. And it's a great Italy at the moment. Their gymnastic quality is so high. His score 13.266. He started with a 14.1 on pommel horse. 9th best overall in qualification, Aberdini. .13.3 the score for Ahmed Under. So it is an improvement, but by less than half a mark from the preliminary round. This is going to be a big routine for Adam Assil. He scored 12.7 in qualification. If he is to make up ground on leader Ilya Kovtun, here is a great place to do it and a key place to do it. This gentleman, this 24-year-old born in Egypt, who's worked so hard, so tirelessly to become one of the finest gymnasts in the world, and he is through his pommel horse routine. .13.166 for Jake Charman. That's down by around half a mark from qualification. That half a mark about what he gained in the first rotation. Now, we look at the gymnast from Switzerland, Florian Langenegger, 20-year-old who is the reigning national champion on vault, and he scores a 14.4, which is up by around 4/10 from the preliminary round. He started with a score of just over 13 on the rings. Good to see him at his debut European Championships, vaulting in the sort of way that won him the national title. We go to Victor Martinez of Belgium in 4th position after the first rotation, after vault. He scored 13.566 for this in qualifying. Through to handstand. So far, so good for Martinez. Just came up a little shy of the handstand position. And he was not quite right piking round into that landing, quite bent at the midsection. So there's confirmation of that 14.4 for Florian Langenegger, the national champion on vault, the 20-year-old from Switzerland. Now joined by his teammates, Noah Seifert, 24-year-old from the St. Gallen area of Switzerland. He was 5th in the all-around competition in Munich. Secure-looking double-twisting Yurchenko from Noah Seifert. 14.033, that's up from qualification by a single tenth. He did have a good start on rings, 13.366, so he's already gained over a mark from qualifying, and he was the 13th best in qualification. 13.166 for Adem Asil. He does make a gain of almost half a mark. That's a very useful performance from him. Ilya Kovtun was terrific on pommel horse in qualifying, 14.4. The 19-year-old who almost made it into the top 10 in the all-around at the last Olympics. The challenge really for him is simply maintaining what he did in qualification. So dominant was he. He just is technically such a precise gymnast. He's so determined, he's so diligent. He works and he works and he works. And is this the year that he really gets results? Oh, come on, he's got to push through, and he's just about done it, but it's not the tidiest of dismounts from Ilya Kovtun. What cost to that 14.4 score from qualification?
And that was the rings exercise.
He's hugely respected by his fellow gymnasts. Now, welcome, young man, to senior European Championship level. Boton Molnar, the reigning junior European all-around champion. He won the title in Munich. He also took a bronze medal on vault. Oh, that's a lovely looking roche from Boton Molnar, 14.466. He's up by almost 2/10 from qualification. But that very nice handspring double front. Doesn't he land that well? Just 18. He actually took part at the Junior European Championships in Mersin in 2020 as well, where he won a team silver and a floor bronze. So he has full colours at Junior European Championship level. How nice to see him back in Turkey at senior level. 13.3 for Ahmed Under on the parallel bars, just to confirm that from earlier. 13.233 for Victor Martinez, so he's down by over 3/10 from qualifying. Performing roughly in line with his qualification performance. He was the 21st strongest in qualification, Martinez. Well, it's vault, therefore one must see Gabriel Bertonette, Junior World Champion from 2019. Oh no! That was unexpected. 11.966. And that, for him, as the 17th best qualifier, is a drop of about 2 3/4 marks. He was the Junior European Champion in Turkey in 2020 as well. Ilya Kovtun, 12.966. So that is quite a change from qualification. Big issues at the end of the routine. About a 1.5 mark drop to Pascal Brendel. I tell you what, the picture is not clear at the moment, is it, in terms of where this one's going? If you're just joining the competition, welcome to the men's all-around final at the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics in Antalya, Turkey. Here is Pascal Brendel of Germany. Secure start on floor, 13.5. He's the reigning German champion on pommel horse. His father, Matthias, a coach at the club where he trains, KTV 68 Wetzlar. He always has demonstrated a nice rhythm on this apparatus. It works smoothly.
Two landings at the same time on pommel horse for Germany.
And he's performed well. Pascal Brendel of Germany, the German champion on pommel horse. Luca van den Kebus of Belgium on the parallel bars. 13.633 in qualification. But he's somebody we've got to keep an eye on after that excellent start on vault, gaining 1.2 from the preliminary round.
Two landings at the same time on pommel horse.
Wow, quite comparable from what we saw in qualification from Luca van den Kebus. 13.2 the score for Tiano Diallo. Now, That is a massive change. He's gained 0.7 and he's now got the same score that he produced in qualification. 14.466, the score for Boton Molnar, just to remind you of that. Lovely Roche vault. We're with Casimir Schmidt of the Netherlands, who started with 13.133 on floor. And at his 7th European Championships, he now takes to the pommel horse. 13.2 in qualification. Snaps into handstand. He's just struggling a little to keep the legs together. Got his sense of kineticism back up. Oh no, that was never quite right. That's a shame for Casimir Schmidt. It's an anxious one at the moment, this all-around final. He had ankle surgery last year. Casimir Schmidt missed the European Championships. Did compete at the World Championships. He's worked so hard to get back to a really competitive all-around game, and so much about that routine was lovely.
And now on pommel horse for the Netherlands,
Leo Saladino of France on the parallel bars. Nice start on vault, 14.633. He scored 14.1 for this in qualification, so wouldn't be a surprise to see him up there at the 1/3 mark. Pommel horse is going to be the real issue for him.
on B-bars.
Look back at the display of Leo Saladino, 13.966, so he is certainly going to be up there. But still to come for him, the horizontal bar next, which has not historically been one of his strongest pieces. Ilya Lyubimov of Israel started with a 13.9 on vault, now to the parallel bars where he scored 12.6 in qualification.
The bronze medalist of the World Championships in Kitakyushu, the all-round bronze
Certainly looks,
there
was a little adjustment there, a better display. Now that is likely to be quite some improvement. 13.6 for Ilya Lyubimov. And he has actually managed to gain a full mark from qualification. Pascal Brendel, 13.966. He has gained 3/10 from qualification. Casimir Schmidt regrettably has lost a full mark for that unintentional dismount from the apparatus. 13.466 for Luca Fontenkebus, down by roughly 2/10 from qualification. So this is how things currently look. It's Saladino in the lead. We expected him to be right up there. He's at the top at the moment, and at the top quite convincingly. But there is a lot more still to come. From the top group of gymnasts, it's Jake Jarman who is the strongest performer. Ilya Kovtun is down in 15th place. Adam Asil above him on 13th, but Asil now goes to the rings. We look further down the order. Shame to see Casimir Schmidt in 23rd position, just ahead of Josh Nathan. Now to the rings. The world champion Adam Asil scored 15.033 in qualification. Massive opportunity for him to push right up the standings. For someone like Jake Jarman, certainly not his strongest piece in terms of difficulty. These are the gymnasts who now head over to vault. And over on the parallel bars, we'll get underway with Florian Langenegger. And on the horizontal bar, which comes into play now for the first time in this rotation, we have Leo Saladino, who is the leader, and we also have Luca Fontenkebus, who is in 2nd place. So just to remind ourselves of how things look, we have Jake Jarman in 4th position coming into this rotation. He's the gymnast about to get us underway. Jarman scored 13.233 in qualification. Up into the planche position. To the iron cross. Every single 10th vital here for Jake Jarman as he goes from Jonasson to Yamawaki into straddle position. Can he minimise deductions for the dismount? Well, he's certainly done a decent job. Jake Jarman, the 21-year-old from Peterborough, all-around silver medalist at the British Championships earlier this year. Now to Florian Langenegger of Switzerland. He scored 13.333 in qualification. That required quick thinking and a lot of strength to get himself back up into vertical. Gets good height in his front somersault. Double pike to dismount, Florian Langenegger of Switzerland. Really good performances in the trials for these championships, consistently placing in the top three. Jake Jarman scores 13.133, 1/10 down from qualification, that's all. Adam Asil of Turkey, the world champion on the rings. Such a huge routine this, to put him in real contention. Powerful in that handstand position with the arms outstretched. To the Maltese. There is a lot of complexity in his work. He's got nice level shoulders. How's the dismount going to be for Adam Asil? Up into handstand. Big moment coming up for him. And it's a great display from Adam Asil of Turkey. That could really get him back in the game. 13.566 for Florian Langenegger. We'll come back to Adam Asil in a minute and Turkey's hopes of taking this all-around title at home. Here is Victor Martinez of Belgium. Well positioned at the conclusion of the second rotation. Third place. He scored 12.866 in qualification. Victor Martinez of Belgium. I must apologise if you lost some of the audio there during that routine. Now, meanwhile, a vault from Yumin Abedini of 13.566. Quite comparable to qualification, and there's the big number for Adam Asil. 15.033. He'll go right up the standings. Could well be leading at the conclusion of the rotation. Now to Ilya Kovtun. 13.733 in the preliminary round. He still has the big parallel bars routine to come. He's got such a calmness as Ilya Kovtun. He's mature beyond his years as a competitor. He always has been. Oh, a flicker a couple of times, the back just arching. but it's a very good dismount from Ukraine's Ilya Kovtun, the leader after qualification, as Victor Martinez scores 13. That's up by over a tenth from qualification. Really good competition he's having. He's got some weaker scoring apparatuses still to come. His second half of the competition, much more low scoring compared to what we've just seen, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on him. Here's Ilya Lyubimov of Israel on the horizontal bar. This was a nice performance in qualifying, 13.233. Straight Kachev to get us underway into the straddle position. Nice Kachev variations. Big wind up into his Kovac. Well, he's been a good presence, hasn't he, in this final? Ilya Lyubimov of Israel. .5 for Ilya Kovtun. Another little drop from qualification. He has unfortunately been consistently lower in qualification in this final. It was always going to be tough to match it. To Pascal Brendel of Germany, gymnast who was 6th coming into this rotation. He scored 13.1 in qualifying. Brendel has his highest scoring apparatus from qualification to come, parallel bars. He's done well, very well in this competition, Pascal Brendel. Here is Elias Koski of Finland. Nice secure vaulting from Elias Koski. He scored 13.833 in qualification. And he scores 13.8 here. Started with a 13.966 on pommel horse. We'll come back to him. 13.433 for Ilya Lyubimov. He's made another gain. Lyubimov is having, as the second reserve, an excellent competition. He's up by about a mark and a half from qualification overall in the first half. Now to Luca Fontenkabus of Belgium, 12.8 in qualifying. Starts with the Yamawaki. Nod of the head from Luca Fontenkabus of Belgium. Very successful day for him so far. All got off to such a great start on vault for him. Now, we talked about the potential right at the start for Noah Seifert to make a move. This was his big scorer in qualification, 14.7. So far, he's been consistently up on everything. He's overarched there, but he's steadied himself. He's into a well-executed Babsar. Nice tip held too. He might not be quite where he was in qualification, but he might be quite close. Noah Seifert, 14.333, so a drop of a few tenths. 12.866 for Pascal Brendel. So he's down by just over 2 tenths from qualification. Luca Fontencabas, 13.433. That's another gain of about 2/3 of a mark. He's doing well, as is this young man, Leo Saladino. But we get to what's a key performance for him. Now, Saladino was in the lead after 2 rotations. He scored 12.866 for this in qualification. He's put a lot of work into getting better on the horizontal bar in recent years. A lot of work. And his Kovac, unfortunately, was off really from the moment it began. And that is going to really alter Leo Saladino's fortunes in this all-around competition, an all-around competition that has begun well. He is such a reserved and yet extremely focused young man. Very humble, he's very determined, quietly so. And he does dismount very smartly after missing that Kovac, unfortunately. Leo Saladino. Turkey's own Ahmed Under comes over to commiserate with him. Having a jolly nice time is Arta Davtyan. Looking nice and relaxed as he now takes to the rings, where his older brother Verhagen is an absolute maestro and was leading the pack when it came to rings qualification. Scored 13.733 in qualification for this display. Well, that's interesting. Arta Davtyan. Not the strongest first couple of rotations from him, but one wonders if that might be a little more like it from the 30-year-old. Tieno Diallo over on vault. He was a little compressed as he landed, but 13.6 the score. Down by 2/10 from qualification. Christopher Mezalos next to vault. Now he scored a 14.2 for this in qualification. It's another very stable display from a gymnast on vault. 9.3 execution, a 14.1 overall. And unfortunately for Saladino, 11.133.
Next on horizontal bar.
That's a drop of
Representing Turkey.
a mark and 3/4 from qualification. Ahmed Under from Turkey, team silver medalist a couple of days ago. 13.266 for this display in qualifying. Cassina to the Coleman. He's got some big work going on in this display. Nice high hips in the straddle catcher. Oh, the roar of the crowd as he winds up towards the dismount. Ahmed Under! Fine performance from the 26-year-old from Izmir province. And they will be hopeful that he can get back into this final as the 23rd strongest performer in qualification. He's always going to be good value to move up from that. Let's have a look at Boton Molnar of Hungary on the parallel bars. Been an impressive start from him so far.
On rings for Germany, Pascal Pendler.
This is his senior international debut after all, so there's still a long way for him to go. But some good signs from the 18-year-old. Encouraging. 13.366 for Boton Molnar. And this is what it means at the moment. Up into first place, Adam Asil. Noah Seifert into second position. Luca Fontenkebus in third place, and Ahmed Under has moved up hugely. He's fourth. Florian Langenegger, fifth place in what's been a very good rotation for the Swiss athletes. Jake Jarman is in 11th place, the third strongest performer in qualification. Top qualifier Ilya Kovtun is down in 15th at the moment, but now that group of top qualifiers heads to vault, with Kovtun going to parallel bars after that. So, as we see Leo Saladino now down in 18th place, this really is shifting all the time, and it is likely to shift a lot more in a moment or two. But huge congratulations to the Swiss gymnast, particularly Noah Seifert, for a very strong first half of the competition. He's absolutely up there. Adam Asil, with that massive number on rings, has pushed himself up so many places. He's actually had a jump of a dozen places, Adam Asil. That's incredible. Now, Ahmed Under goes to floor next. He scored 13.6 in qualification. And he is now in 4th place. And he was in 8th position at the end of the 2nd rotation. Now, Jake Jarman has got a huge vault. Arthur Davtian, well, he's not bad at vaulting, is he? With being the world champion and all that. Adam Assil as well. There's some big numbers in the top group of gymnasts. Slightly less so for the likes of Brendel, Schmidt and Kovtun, but certainly for Davtian, 15 or thereabouts potential. For Jarman, upper 14s potential, getting close to the 15 mark. For Assil, 15 potential. So those top gymnasts from qualification could now be really about to come into their own, as often happens in a men's all-around final at this stage. Great pleasure to have your company wherever in the world you're joining the action from today. My name's Ollie Hogben, and you're watching the European Championships of Artistic Gymnastics at the Antalya Sports Hall. This is the first day of individual finals. And I hope you're enjoying it as Turkey hosts this competition, as Ahmed Under just steadies himself for a big second half of his competition. And it's been a huge couple of weeks for Antalya, having hosted the Junior Artistic Gymnastics World Championships as well. Adam Assil is about to vault. He has a vault that could really put him in a comfortable position at the top of the leaderboard. This could be an all-around final defining moment for the 24-year-old Adam Assil in front of his home fans in Turkey. Oh, he's landed it! He's landed it! And that is going to be so significant for Adam Assil. This is a monstrously difficult vault. The piked Dragulescu, originated by Rise Guang, Victor Martinez on floor. .466, the score for Martinez in qualifying. He's not somebody that we've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of at senior international level, but one hopes that we'll see a great deal more of this 20-year-old. He's a very useful addition to the Belgian senior ranks. Just steadies a little overarch in the handstand. Delight for Victor Martinez of Belgium. He's having a really impressive day in this European Championship all-around final. That's a huge number. 15.1 for Adam Asil. He's actually managed to improve from qualification. He's bolstered his position at the top of the table. Now comes Ilya Kovtun. He scored a 14.333 in qualifying. He must land this and land this well if he is to contend. Oh, Kasamatsu 1.5, and he sat it down for a 13.2. And Ilya Kovtun, unfortunately, is not quite where he was in qualification. To Pascal Brendel. Yeah, that will do the job nicely for Pascal Brendel. He scored almost 14 in the qualification round. 19-year-old, doesn't have huge difficulty at this stage of his career on vault. A little jarred as he landed. 13.666 for Victor Martinez. Now that is his big gain of 1.2 from qualification, which explains, doesn't it, why he celebrated so exuberantly. We now go to Noah Seifert of Switzerland on the horizontal bar. Terrific competition so far. Second place at the halfway mark. He scored 12.6 for this routine in qualification. Best of luck to him as he tries to improve upon that, knowing that he's got a nice floor routine coming up next. He starts with a Kovac, and that's okay. Oh, nice to see that in the pike position. In case you didn't realise, and in case you didn't know, the Swiss are rather excited about Noah Seifert and his development of late as he dances in that nice pirouette position. It's a big moment for him in this final. He's very high. Oh, hello! Noah Seifert! Absolutely in this all-around finalist, the 13th best in qualification. Ilya Lyubimov of Israel on floor. Scored 4.233 in qualification. Always such a nice thing when a reserve gymnast comes into a final and acquits themselves well. Sometimes you wonder, don't you, maybe that little adrenaline kick they get from being brought into the final with 24 hours or so notice, sometimes less notice, just galvanises them to do what they weren't able to do in qualification. Skid of the heels. He's looking way better. That's transformed from qualification. Ilya Lyubimov. 13.033, 0.8 better. Luca van den Kebus on floor. And he was very sharp in qualification with 13.633. If he can just keep himself competitive with good, strong work on floor, He's still going to have a lot to do when he goes to Pommel Horse, where he only just scored above 12 in qualification, but he's going to believe that he's in contention. Well, his number may be coming off, but his number is certainly not up in this all-around final. Oh, what a day he's having. Luca Fontencabos, the 25th best performer in the preliminary round, and he is giving it everything. Now to Artur Davtyan. And that is going to help hugely. 15.1 with a 9.5 execution. Artur Davtyan improves by a single tenth on his performance in qualifying. He will move right up the standings as well. And I tell you who's also going to be up there is that young man from Switzerland. 13.933 for Pascal Brendel, virtually the same as qualifying, down by a few hundredths, that's all. To Casimir Schmidt, catch up with the experienced Dutch athlete.
On hold now for the Netherlands, Casimir Schmidt.
For him, it's been one of those tricky old days. 13.1. $13.9 for Luca Fontencabos. He has improved upon his performance in qualification. He's done it by almost 3/10 of a mark too.
And I want for exercise for France,
Leo Saladino of France on floor. Score of 13.366 in qualification. He was going ever so well until unfortunately he came off the horizontal bar in the previous rotation. He really is a gymnast who has shown great improvement in a short space of time. As we confirm that 15.1 for Artur Davtyan. Jake Jarman, another gymnast with some extremely complex vaulting work.
After the exercise of
and he also is going to pick up a huge score. That might be the best we've seen so far. It is 15.266 for Great Britain's Jake Jarman. This is such a complicated piece of vaulting. The Yonikura Kasamatsu with 2.5 twists, a 6 difficulty. Oh, the top gymnasts have performed well on vault. They've made it difficult for those also in contention, one of whom is Ahmed Under. Ahmed Under scored 13.6 in qualification. And he produced a 13.766, which was half a mark better than in qualification for the horizontal bar in the last rotation. Hugely proud moment for him in his career was winning the Islamic Solidarity Games title on floor in Turkey last year at the delayed games. From 23rd in qualification to palpably in contention, Ahmed Under of Turkey. Big performance coming up for him next on the pommel horse. 13.866 for Saladino. He gains half a mark from qualification. Job very well done for him. There is a huge number from Seifert. 13.933, that's a gain of 1 1/3 marks from qualifying. Transformative. Christopher Mezaros of Hungary on the parallel bars. Needs really to do more than in qualification where he was sub 14. This is looking better. I would say quite comfortably so. Well, that might well invigorate his position in the table. 14.266, that is up by around 4/10. Elias Koski, who scored a 12.233 on the parallel bars, so that's being challenged. Meanwhile, his teammate is getting ready to go. On floor, we see Oscar Kirmes. Competed in the all-around competition at the Olympiad in Rio de Janeiro, where he was the first Finnish man in almost half a century to qualify for the Olympics. 26-year-old Oskar Kirmes of Finland. Very good team spirit in the Finnish ranks after they were so successful at the Nordic Championships last year. A gymnast who's certainly one we've got to keep an eye on, not just today but in the future. Florian Langenegger, the 20-year-old from Bühler in the far northeast of Switzerland, opens his horizontal bar campaign with the Yamawaki. He's got a 13 in qualification. Well, nice to see this young athlete from Switzerland coming through at international level in his first European Championships. Amadunde, 13.766. Small improvement from qualification. Is it going to be enough? Now to Yumin Abedini on the parallel bars. What a superb championships for the Italian men so far, taking a hugely impressive team title. A generation of gymnasts who are used to winning. And so that is Yumin Abedini up to the 2/3 mark of his competition. He will finish on floor where he was particularly strong in qualification. Now we have a look at that routine from Elias Koski that was inquired. So let's bring you up to speed with that now. He had a wonderful Northern European Championships in his home country at the end of last year. Oh, that's a tremendous save, actually, to stay on. I mean, yes, heavy deductions. But he did well just to get anything out of that position. As I was saying, that brilliant championships that he had, winning 2 gold medals and 2 silver medals, including in the all-around. Elias Koski of Finland, that was accepted. He went up by 3/10 from 12.233 to 12.533. So worth making that challenge, but it is still a mark lower than in qualification, unfortunately. .933 for Florian Langenegger. Virtually the same as qualification, where he was a score of 13. Oskar Kirmes, 13.3. Exactly as he produced in qualification. And for Yumin Abedini, a 14 on the parallel bars. Quite a bit better, half a mark up from the preliminary round. showing you the standings just as soon as we can. But I can probably not spoil a great deal for you by telling you that it's looking rather good for the host nation, Turkey, who've never won an all-around title at the European Championships. They took the silver and the bronze last time. That was in Munich. Now we'll have a look at Lorenzo Casali.
On floor exercise.
18.133 in qualification. Now for the gymnast who was part of the gold medal winning team. Good performance here, and he could push himself up into the top 10. It is a good display from Lorenzo Casali.
Of an Italian
14.066 score, almost the same as qualification, less than a 10th difference. That's what it means. Look at the gap at the top as well. A mark and a third for Adam Asil over Artur Davcan, who's flown up the standings. Jake Jarman is in third place, best vault, indeed best score of the day. As we look further down the order, Ilya Kovtun is in 18th position at the moment. But just to go back to the leaderboard, Noah Seifert in 4th position. Top qualifiers go to the parallel bars. Chance for Kovtun perhaps to push up. It's going to need to be a huge display. But he is capable of huge things on the parallel bars. So let's just remind ourselves of the top 5 at the moment. We've got, the gentleman there is one of them, 4th place, Noah Seifert. He has about half a mark over 5th place, Luca von den Kebus, who's going to be on pommel horse. Big performance for him coming up. 3rd place is Jake Jarman of Great Britain. 2nd is Artur Davcan of Armenia. In the lead is Adam Asil of Turkey. So here is Noah Seifert of Switzerland on floor. Only one Swiss gymnast has ever made it onto the podium in an all-around competition. In the men's event, it was a tricky start there for Seifert. It was back in 1957 that Max Benker won a bronze medal. Can you imagine if he can get onto the podium? And it might be fair to say that Seifert is really just a highly competitive vault away from being an absolute medal contender in all-around competition. That's where he doesn't have a huge score at the moment. But he's got big potential on things like horizontal bar, as we've just seen, on parallel bars. He's a very nice gymnast to watch, Noah Seifert. Less than 3/10 behind Jake Jarman coming into this rotation. Now to a top 10 gymnast coming into the penultimate rotation, Christopher Mezaros. His scoring qualification was a strong one, 13.7. And he's off, unfortunately, on that pint Kovac. Did take a silver medal at the National Championships on the horizontal bar. Last month he went to the city of Innsbruck for a friendly competition between the Hungarian-Austrian teams, and rather easily romped his way to the all-around title. And his conventional Kovac is no more successful, regrettably, for Christopher Mészáros. His top 10 placement is really now quite strongly under threat. He's managed to get a release and regrasp done, and a second. Not quite his day. After a very impressive display in qualification, Christopher Mészáros, the 7th best in all-around qualification. He's going to struggle to hold on to that. Now to Ilya Lyubimov of Israel on the pommel horse. We remind ourselves he came in as the 28th best qualifier, reserve number 2. He's 12th coming into this rotation. That's going to really cost, unfortunately. Clip of the legs, lost his momentum. And he might struggle here. I think he's got it, yes. Just saw him getting lower and lower, and eventually off he comes. You know what, though? 21 European Championship debutant. The pommel horse has played havoc with quite a few people in major all-around finals. This is a major all-around final and a huge occasion for him. And he's done all right. He's done more than all right. Just now about minimising those deductions as best as possible. And hasn't he recovered nicely? Well done to him. Ilya Lyubimov of Israel. .8, unfortunately, down by a mark and a half from qualification. 13.666 for Noah Seifert. It's a good score, but he scored a 14.3 in qualifying. 11.133 for Mészáros is way down from his 13.7 in the preliminary round. Here is Pascal Brandl of Germany on the parallel bars. This was his best display in qualification, 14.2. Brandl, 10th place, coming into this rotation. Tippelt up into a controlled handstand, and he snaps out of with a flourish. Got some nice looking Diamidov family work. And his piked dismount, double pike, is well executed. Pascal Brendel, only 19. Luca Fondenkebus over onto the pommel horse for this gymnast who is seeking to keep himself in touch. 12.366 in qualifying. Third place at the halfway mark, fifth place coming into this rotation. No Belgian man has ever won an all-around medal at the European Championships. He's having a super day. Just trying to keep his form tidy in the points. Lost the leg form as he goes round into the dismount. Now, how is that going to compare to the qualification mark? It's a demanding day. There's still 2 performances to go for the majority of the field. Here is Lorenzo Casali on the horizontal bar. He scored 13.4 in qualification. 8th place coming into this rotation. Yamawaki, trouble coming out of the shoulder position into handstand. He's a gymnast who's made enormous strides in his work of late. And he was 13th in the all-around competition at his debut World Championships in Liverpool. Lorenzo Casali, the 20-year-old born in Hanoi in Vietnam. 1 more to go for him. For Brendel, 13.666. So he is down by over half a mark from qualification. Luca Fondenkebus, 11.5. And that, unfortunately, is a drop of about 3/4 of a mark. Now, he couldn't, could he? Back into this. He's going to do it anywhere. It'll happen here. In qualification, he scored 14.9. The strength of that single rail handstand is breathtaking. This is absolutely fantastic. Smooth, buttery smooth work from Ilya Kovtun. Oh, my goodness me. This is one of the finest displays of the entire day. It is absolutely brilliant. 15.433. That is the biggest score that we've seen. Casali with a 12.866. That has him in 11th position. He's down by about 2/3 of a mark from qualifying. But Kovtun has actually improved by around half a mark from qualification. And he might well have pushed right up the standings. Still some way to go. Ahmed Under of Turkey on the pommel horse. 12.466 in qualification. 7th place coming into this rotation. He needs a big one. If he goes as well as Adam Assil, it will be a thrill for the home fans. Oh, you were willing him to stay on, weren't you? Ahmed Under. And that, regrettably, with rings to come for him, we'll probably see him lose touch with the peloton that's trying to break into that top 3. He looks into the rafters of the Antalya Sports Hall. The lonely, long walk, though it's only a few paces back to a pommel horse that is mistreating you, as it has done to so many people in an all-around final, and Ahmed Under is the latest to experience it. Artur Davtyan of Armenia on the parallel bars. Davtyan in 2nd place coming into this rotation. No gymnast from his nation has ever been on an all-around podium in the Senior European Championships. The Armenian junior men had a fantastic Junior World Championships in this city a couple of weeks ago. They are a fearsome young squad coming through. And all of that will rightly put the pressure on gymnasts like Artur Davtyan, requiring him to set an example, to be at his best, to motivate those coming through, so that these wonderful Armenian gymnasts hand over to a new generation who will try to be even more than they were. Aberdini, horizontal bar, 12.133 in qualification. He's the reigning national champion, both in all-around gymnastics and in this particular apparatus. He's got some power on this piece, as his Coleman demonstrates. Nice height as well on this front. So that leaves just one more to go for Yumin Aberdini, 13.466. It's a huge improvement from qualification, a mark and a third better. Artur Davtyan, 13.666. That is essentially what he scored in qualifying. Now we look at the gymnast who was part of the team from Great Britain that won a bronze medal. And in bronze medal position coming into this rotation. Here is Jake Jarman, who scored 14.4 in the preliminary round. That would really push him into an excellent position if he can match it here. It's going to be a tough challenge, but he likes a challenge. Oh, that seemed to be just a little awkward Favsar is performed with elegance. Such strength that he hits the tip belt. Well, Jake Jarman most definitely in the conversation as the leader. Fist bumps him and gets ready to take to the apparatus. Under 11.233. So he is down by just over a mark from qualifying. We'll bring you the standings going into this last rotation, just as soon as the penultimate rotation is drawn to a close, and it's going to be a very dramatic last rotation.
Landing of Diallo from Spain. After
just outside of the top 10, coming into the penultimate rotation, Belgium's Victor Martinez. On the pommel horse, Belgian all-around national champion, Victor Martinez. Trying to push his way into the top 10. He scored 12.866 in qualification. He's just 20, the young man born in Llança in Catalonia, but based in the city of Liège, and we are going to see much more of Victor Martinez, that is clear. Are we going to see this man taking the title? Adem Asil, the gymnast who has worked his way up from being a hopeful, but nothing more than a hopeful for Egypt, to being a young prospect for Turkey, to being a contender for Turkey, to being a leader figure. And he's leading this competition. 14 was his score in qualification. He's handled this occasion. Oh, what a day! What a day! And surely he's given himself the best possible chance with a pressure final horizontal bar routine to come. 13.866 for Jarman, down by over half a mark from qualification, but it's still a strong performance. It's very tight between Jarman and Davtyan. We'll come back to that. Here is Florian Langenegger. He scored 13.7 for this routine in qualification. Worth having a look at this young man who won a medal on floor at the national championships.
Well,
nice gymnast to watch. That's very poised. Some very nice basics from Florian Langenegger. He's another one that's come out of this as a gymnast to watch. 14.1 on floor, he's well up from qualification by 4/10. Excellent work. 14.3 for Adam Asil, that's an improvement from qualification. Victor Martinez, 13.033. That's an improvement from qualification of a few tenths. And now we'll find out what it all means in just a moment.
And next on pommel horse, Oscar Kirmes of Finland.
Get your calculators ready. There is quite a chasing pack going on here. The lead, well, that's much more cut and dried. It is Adam Asil, and he's very nearly done it. He's given himself breathing room ahead of Jake Jarman, ahead of Arta Davtyan. The gap between Davtyan and Seifert is small. Hello, Ilya Kovtun, he's back up there in 5th position. And then it is Yumin Abedini in 6th place. As we look further down the order, Ahmed Under, unfortunately, is down in 16th position. We've seen the big contender from Belgium, Luca Fontenkebus, unfortunately, because of that Pommelhorst routine, dropped down into 12th. So it is now very much Adam Asil's to take to the horizontal bar. He will be the second last to go. His score in qualification was 13.2. Ilya Kovtun will be the last to go. His was 14. He was actually the best scorer of that top group of gymnasts. Seifert is going to finish on Pommelhorst. We'll come back to him in a moment. Indeed, Noah Seifert will keep us guessing right up until the end. He scored 12.966 in qualification. How impressive to see somebody who was 13th in overall qualification be absolutely a contender. And these are the gymnasts who will finish on rings. Luca Fontenkebus, who was really giving a great go of it until Pommelhorst sadly now finds himself outside of the top 10. It can all change so quickly, can't it? Take a moment, take pause, take stock, and take your pick. Who's it going to be? Let's find out. Elias Koski of Finland. We are underway in this last rotation in the men's all-around final. Koski scored 13.566 in qualification for this display. It's his 6th time at European Championship level. He just has a small flicker in the diagonal armed handstand. And that brings to a close the all-round campaign of the 12th best in qualification, Elias Koski of Finland. We now have Pascal Brendel. .13.2 in qualification for Brendel. Top 10 performer coming into this. And as the 6th best in qualification, that's really estimable for somebody who's so inexperienced at this level. Really attacked the Kachev and did it well. Gets clearance in his Yamawaki. Oh, it's a very nice way to conclude. Well done, young Pascal Brendel. Making his senior European Championship debut. And he's made that debut with composure. And he's made, I think, a name for himself as somebody to enjoy a lot more of in the future. 13.4 for Elias Koski. Quite comparable to qualifying, down by about a 10th and a half. There is Lorenzo Casali. He scored 13.633 in qualification. So at the moment it is Koski who's in the gold medal position. All of that expected to change as this busy final rotation gathers pace. It's not the easiest thing for these young gymnasts from Italy after the euphoria of winning the team title to come back out here now and to work as individuals. Probably has been quite nice for Casali and Aberdini to be in the same group. The competition draws to a close in the all-round for Lorenzo Casali of Italy as Pascal Brendel scores 13.233. Virtually the same as qualification. Well done to him. He now goes into the gold medal position. Ahmet Under of Turkey on the rings. He scored 12.7 in qualifying. He slipped down after the difficulties he had on pommel horse. Like all of his teammates, the amount of work he put into securing that silver medal a couple of days ago. Maybe it's just starting to take its toll a little. Slightly tricky routine for Ahmed Under, but you know what, he has been such a pivotal part of the Turkey squad for so long. And that's why the chants are really warmly extended to him in the arena. They're so proud of him in Turkey. Finishing his campaign on floor. 10th strongest qualifier, Josh Nathan of Great Britain. He had a tough beginning on the pommel horse. This was one of his best performances in qualifying though, 13.766. And so concludes the competition of the reigning English all-around champion, Josh Nathan, as Lorenzo Mincasali scores 13.8. That puts him into the silver medal position. Ahmed Under, with his 12.1, is in 8th place. So at the moment it's Brendel, then Casali, then Elias Koski, 1, 2 and 3. But we still have many a performer to come, including Arta Davtyan. Now, Davtyan doesn't have a hugely complicated horizontal bar routine. 12.466 is what he scored in qualification. Bidding to become the first gymnast from his nation to take all-around honours at the European Championships. Really, it's about doing enough to stay ahead of Noah Seifert. Arta Davtyan, who's made a career out of clean, fundamentally solid, well-executed gymnastics. It could carry him onto the European all-around podium. There is Arta Davtyan of Armenia, bringing to a close a really impressive all-around campaign in Antalya. To Yumin Abadini of Italy on the floor. Abadini, the 6th best performer in qualification. That's done with style and real control. Such lovely form in his flares. Easy to see why this is one of his finest pieces of apparatus. Little trembling, all that exertion becoming clear now. He's fighting hard. His teammates call out his name from the sidelines and from the crowd. And Yumin Aberdini of Italy brings to a close his all-around competition. He scored almost 14 in qualifying for that routine. Lots of very crisp gymnastics. This, one of the nicest moments, despite the fact he's obviously feeling real fatigue at this stage. .13.8, the score for Josh Nathan on floor. So that's a little up from qualification. Nice positive way to end his final. Now, Yumin Aberdini scores 13.766, and he has gone into the lead with a score of 82.164. So Aberdini has set the mark that everyone else needs to beat. We're waiting on the score for Arta Davtyan, though. Gymnast who was third coming into the final rotation. Just to remind you, we'll have Noah Seifert, who was fourth as the last gymnast on the pommel horse. So it's going to keep us guessing right up until the very end. Davtyan with a score of 13 has made a big improvement from qualification, and he's gone into the gold medal position, 82.665. It's now the turn of Jake Jarman in second place coming into this rotation. Jake Jarman's score in qualifying was 13.233. Gets through his first Kachev. And his second. British squad watching on, calling out encouragement to the 21-year-old from Peterborough, Jake Jarman, as he winds up and gets ready for a hugely important dismount. Oh, that's a great way to finish, and he knows it. He's thrilled. He's right to be thrilled. Jake Jarman. Noah Seifert. 12.966 in qualification. He needs this to be really strong if he is to challenge Arta Davtyan. He's got to try and get above him. That's the key number to beat, 82.665. If Seifert gets above 82.665, then he could be about to be the second Swiss man ever to get onto a European all-around podium. 13.333, and that means 82.664. He's a thousandth of a mark behind Arta Davtyan. Davtyan 82.665. Seifert 82.664. I said get the calculators out. Goodness. Oh, that is so tough on Noah Seifert. So, at the moment, Davtyan leads, but with the expectation that it will all change, courtesy of this man. The number required for him to go into the lead as things stand is only just over 11, but we do have also the score for Jake Jarman to be calculated. So that might change as well. Let's see. And then we've still got Ilya Kovtun to come, and Kovtun scored the best of all of these top gymnasts in qualification. So suffice to say, this is quite an intricate picture. Now, Jake Jarman looking for something more than 82.665 as a total score. And he's done that quite comfortably. 13.266 for Jake Jarman. It's 83.463. And that means that Jake Jarman is guaranteed to win a medal. But we have got two to come. Adem Asil of Turkey. He needs a score of in excess of 11.931. It is absolutely comfortably within his grasp. But is the bar itself within his grasp? Yes. Yes. He gets closer and closer to one of the most important accomplishments of his career. He moved here from across the oceans, from the other side of the Mediterranean Sea. He's one of theirs now. He's a leader of this great gymnastics nation. His name, and it's a new name. It's not the name he was born with. Adem Asil, Turkey's own. He may not have been born Adem Asil, but he was born a winner. With this kind of mentality, who could doubt him? A career, a life transformed by a brave decision to go elsewhere, to leave his homeland in pursuit of a dream. No gymnast from Turkey has ever been the all-around champion of Europe. Now we catch up with Florian Langenegger of Switzerland, who's had a very fine campaign. He was the 15th best in qualification. He's poised to finish well above that if this goes okay. You know, the Swiss might be about to miss out on medals, but they have got two cracking gymnasts here. And this 20-year-old Florian Langenegger has had a wonderful day. 13.833, he's in 5th position. Adem Asil, the 24-year-old who became a world champion in Liverpool. He waits. He leads! 13.433. Adem Asil may well be the first gymnast from Turkey ever to be an all-around European champion. A missing piece of the puzzle in this great career. He's done it on home turf. Adem Asil, nerves of steel. And all of that brings us to an unlikely conclusion, which is Ilya Kovtun mounting a challenge. Considering how his day started, can he do it? He needs a score of 13.666 plus to get onto the podium, and he got 14 in qualification. And he is going for it. He's really going for it. Ilya Kovtun. And if he manages to do it, this is going to be a supreme comeback. Count out Ilya Kovtun, you must be joking! What a finish from him! 13.333, Noah Seifert goes into 4th position. We have confirmation of that narrow miss with Arta Davtyan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, but waiting for the score.
And it looks as though it's going to be a very nervous wait now for Davtyan. He will feel confident, Adem Asil, but he's a gentleman of such respect for this sport that he will not celebrate his gold medal until it is confirmed, until it is signed, sealed and delivered. Ilya Kovtun with a gentle smile of a gentleman. Your moment, sir, has nearly come. Breathe, relax, and get ready for the loudest noise you've heard in your career. There is one last score to come in. It's the score for Ilya Kovtun. Where will he be positioned? 14.033. He's won the bronze medal. And it means that a long-awaited date with destiny has been kept. At home, Turkey, as an all-around champion of Europe. They've taken this man under their wing. He's become one of their finest, one of the world's finest. He's now Europe's finest. Adem Asil, you may not have been born here, but believe me, you are at home. Put him down, he's got some apparatus finals to come back for. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, that's the worst landing he's had all day. What a flawless day from Adem Asil. You know what? From the moment he produced that pommel horse routine, I suspect many of you watching thought he's going to be all right now, and you were right. One of the best pommel horse performances of his career. There was a nervousness about the Antalya Sports Hall before the start of competition. It was a nervousness that comes with expectation. And it tells you so much about where gymnastics in Turkey has been and where it's come from and where it is now, that people here believed that he was going to win the European all-around title. They were right to believe it. The classified results in the men's all-around competition: bronze for Ilya Kovtun of Ukraine, a superb comeback; silver for Jake Jarman of Great Britain; and the title won, and won well, by Adem Asil of Turkey. Commiserations to Artur Davtyan of Armenia and to Noah Seifert of Switzerland. They just miss out. We look down the order at those who made this so entertaining as well. People like Victor Martinez, people like Leo Saladino, people who qualified so well like Casimir Schmidt and proved what they're capable of once again. People like Luca Fondenkebus, who was so close right up till the halfway mark. People like Ahmed Under, who supported his teammate from the sidelines even when his final wasn't going according to plan. They've all done their bit, but he's done a bit more than everyone else. Mediterranean compatriots. He just keeps on winning, doesn't he?
Medal winners, please proceed.
And if that is the first individual final at these European Championships, I think it's safe to say we're in for a great few days. I cannot say strongly enough just how respected this young man is by his peers, how admired he is. Adem, you've got to go over there now, they're saying, because we've got something to give you. Good luck to them trying to get Adem Asil actually over for the victory ceremony, because he's being absolutely besieged. Let's have a reminder of how he won it. Adem Asil of Turkey, the European men's all-around champion. And we'll bring you in just a moment or two the victory ceremony. Let's remind ourselves of who else is going to be on that podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the award ceremony as soon as possible.
Jimnastik Avrupa Şampiyonası Erkekler Genel Tasdik Finalleri ödül törenine geçiyoruz.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Championship.
The victory ceremony for the men's all-around competition in Turkey. And a bronze medal won for the second time at the European Championships by Ilya Kovtun of Ukraine. A brilliant comeback. Taking the silver medal, Great Britain's Jake Jarman. His second medal of these championships. It's the moment that they dared to dream of, and some were too scared to dream of. Adem Asil of Turkey is the all-around champion of Europe in men's artistic gymnastics. They've done it. They've won it. They've worked for it. And we will now have the national anthem of Turkey. And I think it's about to be sung quite loudly. The national anthem of Turkey, played in honour of Adem Asil. And there they are, the medalists in the men's all-around competition at the European Artistic Gymnastics Championships. It's a fairy tale for the host nation. And that is a very fine podium of excellent gymnasts who've earned their place at the top of the continent. So what do you say we do it all again, same time tomorrow? All right then, let's have a women's all-around final, and it's going to be a great one. But for now, we'll leave you with the scenes of celebration in Turkey, in Antalya, as Adem Asil becomes the European men's all-around champion.
Phone call from the queen with 100 heads. She says that they're all dead. She tried the last one on, couldn't speak, fell off, and now she just wanders a hall, thinking nothing at all. Once there was a man who had a little too much time on his hand and never stopped to think that he was getting older. But when his best friend and pretend that he could wish himself